And speaking of shopping, online shoppers are now encountering a new form of payment at checkout. It is the service of buy now, pay later, and it's a new twist to the old-fashioned layaway plan once offered by big retailers.
That's right. Now, the difference now is consumers who use Klarna or Afterpay get their goods right away and make payments over time. Now, this industry disruptor is becoming increasingly popular as an alternative to high-interest credit cards. But, studies show the most common users are those who live paycheck to paycheck. So is this really good for your wallet?
Here this morning to break it all down for us is Mark Scribner. He is the managing director at Oxygen Financial. Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
So the buy now, pay later concept is being called a disruptor in fintech. Tell us a little bit more about how it works and maybe what the long-term effects may be.
Well, it's actually exploded since the pandemic. It's people are online shopping more. It's basically presented anywhere via the internet, or if you're going into a retail location, it's an option that's being presented. And in essence, it's the opposite of what you just mentioned, that old layaway program where you stagger the payments out. You put 25% potentially down, and you can go 4 or 6 payments. You get the merchandise right away, but you pay later.
So a recent study from Credit Karma shows 44% of Americans have used a buy now, pay later plan. So one, what do you think is driving the interest? And do you think that there could be any negative impacts, especially on younger consumers who may get used to swiping that card way too often or using these programs way too often?
Well, it's about convenience, and sometimes people are buying things that they can't afford, so they're getting the immediate gratification, but they're delaying the payment. From the merchant perspective, it's good because also studies show that when that payment option is presented, people will spend 20 to 40% more than they normally would versus using a credit card or cash.
What kind of impact will this have on retailers? What are they looking at in terms of fees?
So the merchant actually pays the platform to utilize. So the consumer, as long as they're making those payments, aren't paying an interest rate. There's really no cost per se for the consumer if they're following that payment plan. But again, it does increase the likelihood that one of the consumers is going to buy more merchant goods than they normally would with that delayed payment option.
Quickly, ahead of holiday season, what is some of your advice maybe to people that will be shopping and probably spending a lot more money than they want to or should?
Well, it's a great option to get that immediate gratification, but typically you don't want to buy stuff that you can't afford, and if you're going to have to stagger out the payments, that would be potentially a red flag. If you spent $100 on an item and then you have a late payment fee for $35 or potentially an overdraft that's related to that, that could be a 30 to 60% interest rate on a $100 item, and it's very difficult to keep track when you sign up for multiple payment plans. People are missing these payments because they can't keep track of which platform they signed on, and they're not monthly payments, they're sometimes bi-monthly. So keeping track of those payments is something very important to do because it could impact your credit score. You could get late payments and higher fees.
George Washington University says that only 8% of millennials have a high level of understanding when it comes to financial literacy. So financial literacy is everything in this case. All right, Mark Scribner, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Well, as the break